always ready when
Oh
you're
my
ready.
goodness. Tonight's going to be a busy night.
Haven't had those.
I know. Running our cash.
It's not even meant to eat.
It's a good thing we're all aware of this because we can all participate.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Oh, all right.
Deal.
oh, so it's the gambling action, huh?
Okay, so we're gonna see how efficient we are.
That's good.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Harrison Township Planning Commission meeting. Today is Thursday, February 20th, 2014. I'm calling the meeting to order a little late tonight, 7:05 p.m. Roll call, please, Mr. Bloom.
Sure, thank you. Member McDougal, I understand is excused.
Excused absent?
Member Tominello? Here. Member Fauk?
Here.
Member Batcha?
Here.
Member Bloom is here. Member Olgatti, I understand is
Excused absent as well, correct.
And Chairperson Merrick.
Present. Thank you. The election of officers is listed on our agenda again this evening, but due to the fact that we don't have a full board, we're going to push this off until our next meeting. Item D, may I have approval of the agenda as presented, please?
So moved, Madam Chair. I'll second that.
Okay, Mr. Tominello, Mr. Bloom, all in favor for approving the agenda?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approval of our minutes from our January 16th, 2014 meeting.
Madam Chair, I'd make a motion to approve the minutes from our January 16th, 2014 minutes as written.
Excellent. Motion by Mr. Folk. May I have a second, please?
I support that.
Mr. Betcha, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Bloom, will you please read our first case to this evening?
Sure. The first case is case number 04-14-S, Belmar Harbor, 41700 Conger Bay, Harrison Township. They are proposing a new 18,000 square foot building, building number 12, and a pavilion and storage area at the north end of building number 8.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. You all take a look at our plans. We received a large set. We are talking about an 18,000 square foot addition to include, well, actually, why don't we just have Mr. Foster go ahead and explain it?
Okay. Eric Foster, general partner of Belmar Harbor, also resident at 32127 Riverdale. What we're doing is really we're carrying on doing a little bit what we've done over the last 2 years. We're increasing our heated storage capacity. 2 years ago, we put up that building number 8, took down a building. We've converted 2 other buildings to heated storage. Now this time around, I'd like to add 1 additional building, and that would be in the area where our tennis court and our basketball court is. And we want to, the size would be 108 by 172, and the current recreational facility is 108 by 118, and we would extend further, which would actually go over the area where the current pavilion and storage room is. And what that storage room is used for is all of our tables and chairs and things like that for events. We have to have a place to put that. Also for the pool furniture that we have to store over the winter. So that's what that is. What we're going to do is we are going to, each year, we're going to purchase from Sport Court a tennis and basketball court. Actually, the wood type flooring, it's actually plastic wood that they put down. They'll do it for NCAA volleyball tournaments. They do it for the Gus Macker when they have to come in and build courts to have tournaments. We'll buy that, and then each spring we would put that in after the boats are taken out, so we would end up having indoor basketball and indoor tennis. And then in the fall, you know, we take it out again and use it for storage of boats. So we get the best of both worlds that way. So what we're doing is we need to have another location for the pavilion and the storage room, and those are both older, especially the storage room. It was a modular type office, and that's near 30 years old now. So it's best just to do a new construction there. and add that on to the back of building number 8. So where it would be is it would be going out, this is 8, the north end, and it would be north of the fenced-in storage area and north of the building there to the east side of the overhead door that's there.
Okay, thank you. Excuse me. Any questions from the members for Mr. Foster? If no questions, how about a motion?
Madam Chair, if I would just take a moment and get 100% clear on this.
Okay.
All right, so on building number 8, you're gonna add to the north side additional to that building, is that correct?
Correct. Actually, the north end of both the wall for the storage yard, that black wall,
Okay. And is that gonna be rack storage or is that winter storage?
no, it's a lower profile, if I may. This is a little
Okay, I
illustration.
saw that one, okay.
Yeah, so what we're doing, the pavilion is gonna be coming off of the end of the storage facility, which comes in 13 feet in front of that building. So that's gonna be there, and this will run about 20 feet, it'll be 5 feet from that door, and that's just a low profile, but what we've got there, you can't even get any type of equipment in. What that is, there's not enough room if somebody wants to have a larger party such as family reunion or something like that, you don't have enough space in front of your well. And so if they try to get 30 people there, they're gonna be encroaching on everybody else that's in that area. So what we have that for is that they can rent that, have a larger party, so they're not inconveniencing the other boaters.
Okay,
So that's what that facility's for.
great, thank you.
And then how do you get the boats into building number 8 for the winter storage?
By trailer,
From the south
Yeah.
end,
from both ends.
both ends?
Yes, we have hydraulic trailers that go in, and we don't use the jack stands, we use beams. And so we pull them in, you raise it up, and then we put the blocks down. They'll bring the trailer down and just pull it out. They'll sit on the blocks. So all of our boats are done that way by hydraulic trailers.
Okay. All right, and then the new building 12, that's also gonna be winter storage?
Yes, that'll be with the trailers.
With, on some of them on the owner's trailers?
They could be, but generally, you're finding it's primarily the larger boats that are going inside heated. There are some smaller ones, they can do it that way also, yes.
And then those the door for that is on the north end?
Right, we're only gonna be able to load on one end on that because we're coming from the pool area. And so they don't have a door on the south end for that building.
Will there be an access door on the south end at all?
Yeah, there'll be man doors, yeah.
That's what I thought.
Okay, so then where those parking spaces are currently showing there, you'll be coming in through that way, at the north end?
Yeah, it'll be at the north end of that building. And also, as we do with all the other buildings except for building number 8, in summertime, those are all lined for parking. So the north 54 feet north of where we're going to have actually the tennis and the basketball, that will be aligned for additional parking. I believe by going out where we did, we're losing 13 parking spaces. We'll be able to have 18 inside for summer for parking, so we actually have a net gain for parking.
And then one last thing on building 4.
Okay, we actually weren't gonna discuss building 4 tonight since it's not on our agenda. Building 4 is not part of our, even though we received all the information, it's not part of our
review.
Yeah, review this evening, because it is an existing site plan, and the plans that are being made to it are deemed major. So that's gonna go back for another, that's gonna have to go back for site plan, for a major site plan, for regular site plan review, and follow the process from there. So we won't be making a decision on building number 4 this evening. But you could certainly ask questions.
Well, no, I won't do that if if that's the case, and I understand that, thank you.
Yep.
But what does that do to approving the plans in front of us?
Well, the plans in front of us, what we're considering this evening is just the 18,000 square foot building addition and the pavilion and garage addition to building number 8 as noted in our, on our agenda. And then, Mr. Foster, you're going back for, you're applying for a regular site?
Yes, what we're doing is we just want to add 12 more racks. We've got a full building. I've got probably about 30 people on a waiting list, so there's only that one spot that we can get it on the actual site where that building is. We can't do a rack storage without major expense in another area of the marina, because those marina forklifts, the Wiggins that we, they're almost up to about $300,000 a piece, and basically you need to have 2 of them for each one, because if they break down, you got to be able to get the people's boat out. So then you're talking about, you know, extra people. So what I would really like is too bad we couldn't go higher and have more in there, but, you know, we can't do that. So there's one area on that existing site plan that we could fit 12 in, and that's what that is all about.
Okay, so you'll follow,
Yep.
you'll follow up with the offices for
Yes.
the, okay, excellent.
But my point here is, if we've gone round and round with this in the past of the prints, the plans submitted to us, being specific to what we're doing. Now, we go ahead and somebody's gonna sign off. You can't sign off and have this on the plan, in my opinion.
Right, building number 4, right, you know what, where's the large set of plans? And Mr. Maher, correct me if I'm wrong. Because this set of plans, the initial set of plans, really doesn't show all of the improvements requested, is this a set of plans that will be approved if we approve the 18,000 square foot and the addition to building number 8?
Yes, I mean, that's what was submitted by the applicant. You would have to make some type of motion that it not
That we would
include
exclude-
the building number 4
Okay.
expansion.
All right,
Yeah, but I mean, the building 4, there are revisions in the building 4 area on these set of plans.
That's correct.
So we would just exclude it.
And
They're
you
they're
would
really
sign
3
off.
separate projects, you
Right.
know, I mean, it's just, they're all on the site, but they're 3 separate projects, so they're each independent of each other.
I don't know, for some reason, I still have a hard time with that. The plans are the plans for what we're looking at tonight, and if everyone else is comfortable with just saying exclusions, or if you're gonna go and sign off on this set of plans, then this is on the plans.
you know what, and actually, yeah, I think we're okay if we make a motion specifically excluding anything relative to building number 4 on this set of plans listed by date, by job number, then we're being quite specific legally, correct? Okay. Yeah, I think
You
we'll
all
be.
good with that
yeah.
over there?
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
I think when we talked about, you know, having plans complete and specific, I think what we were trying to get away from was, you know, let's put extra shrubbery here and extra screening there and a blue fence over there. So, you know, all these exceptions, I think this is pretty straightforward. I mean, it'd just be exclusion of building 4 and approving of everything else. So, you know, it's when we get into all those 10 or 15 caveats is when we're getting into trouble. So, that's just my interpretation of the way we were trying to make things more consistent.
And if I might also, because these plans are explicit for the new building 12 and the addition to building 8, as they're presented, we're not requesting any changes, at least at this point, we're not requesting any changes to those sets, so these plans stand minus number 4. minus building number 4. Excuse me. Okay, any more questions relative to building 12 and 8?
Madam Chair, I would like to just mention that I did visit the site with Mr. Foster the other day, and we reviewed the site in its entirety, and we reviewed everything he's doing, and actually, I gotta, Mr. Foster, give you a lot of credit. You're being very innovative. We're gonna have the first indoor gym, or I guess that may be a good way, but being able to use the facilities for both summer and winter activities, being able to use the buildings for customer parking, and everything that he's installing. It may be tearing down an old terrace or an old piece, but he's not encroaching on any of the parking, and he's making the facility more efficient and effective. So, good
Thank
job,
you.
Mr. Foster. I think that's, I think you're doing a great job.
Let it be known that we also have a letter from the fire department indicating that, based on the NFPA 1 2000 edition and the Harrison Township ordinance, his comments, Michael Lopez's comments are, access for firefighting and fire apparatus appear to be adequate, and the existing fire hydrants and/or the water flow may not be adequate to support a fire suppression system for the structure. And that's in regards to the 18,000 square foot. Can you speak to that at all?
Yes. There's a 12-inch main that came over from McRae Harbor that's been stubbed for probably 25 years. And so I've had Dave Axtell out from the water department out there, and the plans would be to tap into that and bring it to the building, and that would be a 12-inch main. What they would like to do is eventually get that all the way back to Conger Bay, because coming down Conger Bay, they have an inadequate 8-inch water main. So the residents and the marina people suffer a little bit during the summertime with low pressure, because they just don't have enough water coming in. I also agreed, because there's no way that we could get the money, running a 12-inch is really expensive, and there's no way I'm borrowing this money to do that. For us to be able to take it all the way to Conger Bay, I agreed to take it also to the pool, which is the next building down south of there, that building, and, hook into that, because that's a major water user with the showers in the pool.
Building number 11?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I had also talked with Dave and with Supervisor Verkest, and they're going to be on the lookout to see if there's any way that the township could get money to then extend that the rest of the way, so they could take care of their problem for the rest of the marina and Conger Bay Drive and loop that. That's ideally what they'd like to have.
Okay, thank you. Actually, at this time, Mr. Newmer, anything you'd like to share?
Yeah, I did request that the engineer provide some additional information on the utilities, because they're not shown on the site plan. And the water main issue did come up. I talked to Mr. Axtell about it as well. There's some concern about the length of this dead-end main and the water quality that results from that. The issue is when we have water that sits in a main and doesn't move or isn't turned over, especially water that's used on a seasonal basis, because it's not used in the wintertime, we tend to get, we lose our chlorine residual in the water main. It has the potential to be growing bacteria and having other water contamination in the main. And there's a concern then that would impact the water quality in the public water system.
And so how is something like that rectified then?
Something like that is rectified by looping that system, as you mentioned, bringing that down around the marina, connecting it into the water supply as it comes over from Conger Bay Drive. Would need to be
So that there's a
done.
constant moving,
Right, so that the water be supplied from both directions. That would have several advantages. One, taking care of the water quality concern. The other one is it would improve the pressures and the flows for the marina, for the residents, and it would provide adequate fire protection, as the fire chief was talking about, for that area. The issue is it's an expensive undertaking to put that water main in. So when I talked to Mr. Axtell about it at the end of the day yesterday, he did ask me to express the concern of leaving this dead-end water main and having that be a potential source of water quality problems for us. So, I guess it's a little bit of a difficult situation because, you know, we'd like to just say, well, yeah, go ahead and loop the water main and put it in, but that's an expensive proposition.
In your opinion, without that effort, are the additions, the new structure, is that a showstopper for that building?
I'm not sure if it's a showstopper or not. I know that they need water for the building, and the water supply that they've got coming down there, they've got, I believe it's 2-inch water mains you've got running down.
Yes.
All inside there. So I mean, there's very little flow coming out of a 2-inch water main that's fed off a 6-inch water main that's half a mile long, you know, or whatever it is. So there's gonna be very little flow coming out of that.
The problem is the water, the suppression, fire suppression system absolutely can't run on that.
Right.
You know, so that's.
So you are forced to make the upgrade?
Yes, and
Yeah.
so I did talk to Chief, the fire chief, and he said as long as we're tapping into that, he's got absolutely no problem. Also, when I had Dave Axtell out on the property, he also said that one of the requirements would be that they have some apparatus that does an automatic flushing, you know, at least once a month of that, and that we would be required to install that when we got to the building thing. And, you know, quite frankly, it's been, you know, dead-ended for 25 years, and we're bringing it to that building now. With that building, there's no potable water, you know, there. It's only for the fire suppression system, because we don't have any need for water in the building. So, again, if it came to that and we couldn't use it to, you know, to go to the pool house where it might be potable water, then, you know, that would be that. But, you know, again, then the township loses